players on the international stage and some that you may well recognize are coming to town for a couple of upcoming soccer games. This is part of the launch of the USL Super League here in Jacksonville. And here with the big reveal is Tony Allegretti, director and series organizer for Sporting JAX. Good morning, Tony.
Hey, good morning, Ian.
We're also joined by Mike Johnson. He is the former soccer coach at UNF and Jacksonville University and the director of Sporting JAX Foundation soccer clinics, which we're also going to be talking about. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
But let's get to it, Tony. The big announcement. So you guys are announcing here.
Yeah. So coming for our International Women's Cup is Hibernian FC Women, which are the Scottish championships. They won their Premier League in Scotland, so the champions of Scotland are coming over August 2nd. It's our first match. It's an international friendly. And then after that, that's August 2nd. And then after that, it's Wrexham FC. So,
which is a name a lot of people will know.
You may have heard of.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is a team that has been bought by Hollywood investors and then kind of become some Hollywood darlings.
That's right. Yeah. Well, and very successful, especially on the men's side. They're all the way up to the championship, which is the second division in England. So they're pretty impressive on a roll.
So how did you guys land both Hibernian FC and Wrexham AFC?
That's a great question. So lots of different. The soccer world is so connected and webbed, and very much. I think there's a lot of collaboration with these two teams. I think part of it is we know Hibernian through the Gordon family, who owns the team. Ron Gordon, who has since passed away, R.I.P. Ron, was an amazing guy. He was one of the first investors in Sporting JAX. And at the time, he was looking to do an American team and a team in Europe. Once he bought Hibernian, it's a 140-year-old club. I mean, it's a household name in soccer. It became sort of apparent that he wasn't going to be able to do two projects in the one in the States. So we ended up finding other investors and working with the USL and the league. But so that's a connection there, and we really have always kept our connection with Hibernian.
And is their nickname the Cabbage?
Hibs, Hibbies, the Cabbage. Yeah, they're super impressive. They're, again, a household name in Europe.
So that's how you connected with them. But what about Wrexham?
Right. So Wrexham, I believe, came through Mark Warburg. You know, our head of soccer and sport, which we have to get on the show sometime. He has coached Nottingham Forest, Brentwood. He's the manager of those, and Glasgow Rangers. So Scottish connection there. He's connected to every team out there. Queen's Park Rangers he coached for. So I believe Wrexham mostly came through connections that he made. But we're very excited and really working with Visit Jacksonville to make sure that we are ready for the throngs of people from all over the states, but also from Europe to come over and see Jacksonville and enjoy the matches.
I mean, there really is an international flair when you have games like this. I recall going to there was a game that Scotland played here in Jacksonville several years ago. And I mean, the kilts were everywhere. People were saying curse words that I wouldn't really
and then we whipped Scotland, which I don't know would happen right now. So yeah, we were on a roll back then. And then the match really after that, USMNT, which we should get international matches all the time here. The match after that was Nigeria, which was for a long time the biggest match in U.S. history in terms of turnout.
So this is huge. I mean, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
And
amazing.
You're expecting. I mean, this is part of a season ticket package.
Yeah. If you've already bought season tickets, you're in. You'll get notification on this. If you haven't yet and you just want to go to these, I think tickets will be on sale at like 11 a.m. this morning. So you can go to sportingjax.com and check that out. I think there's a Euro pack. So if you just wanted to go to Hibs and Wrexham, you could just get those two tickets. So yeah, lots of options depending on your schedule.
And you expect like the Ryan Reynolds of the world to be here?
Yeah, for this? Yeah. I haven't heard opposite. I'm sure Ryan Reynolds will be here and sitting with me in the box at UNF.
All right. Well, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come back and talk a little bit more about the summer clinics that are coming up. Stick around.
That's the news.
Life South Community Blood Centers, providing blood and patient services to the local hospitals, serving patients in this community. Donating blood with Life South helps save lives. More at lifesouth.org to find a blood drive near you.
20 minutes of reading a day paves the way to success. And remember, the reading doesn't have to be all at once. Find small moments throughout the day to read together. They all add up to 20. For more information, readjax.org.
On the next Fresh Air, we'll discuss the regime of Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, the history of Iran's nuclear weapons program, and the possible outcomes in the region following the U.S.'s bombing of Iran's facilities. Our guest will be Kareem Sajidpour, a policy analyst at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace. I hope you can join us.
Today at noon on WJCT News 89.9.
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu got what he wanted after the U.S. bombed Iran this weekend.
First comes strength, then comes peace. And tonight, President Trump and the United States acted with a lot of strength. President Trump, I thank you. The people of Israel thank you.
So what is Israel's endgame here? And what is the U.S. role? That's on the next On Point.
Today at 11 on WJCT News 89.9.
This month, the House voted to rescind $1.1 billion in federal funding for NPR and PBS. For some stations, the loss of this money would be dire. We discuss the stations that might not survive as a result of these cuts and what it means for the future of public service and local news. That's next time on 1A.
Today, starting at 10 on WJCT News 89.9.
Welcome back. Well, we are talking about some big news from Sporting JAX today. They just announced some global competitors that are coming to town from Wrexham and
Hibernian. From Edinburgh. Yeah.
But you guys are also here to talk about some really cool free summer clinics that you're going to be running. And I do want to get to that because that's designed for kids who maybe have some soccer dreams, Mike, but are not necessarily they don't have the perhaps the money to do league soccer. They
It's
maybe
really
have,
access. Sorry to
access.
interrupt. Yeah, but it's access.
Run the
to,
show, Tony.
Yeah,
Go for
well,
it.
let me just get the takeover here. No, so when I coached at Andrew Jackson for a few years, and we would have to do tryouts on the tennis courts. We had no field. We would occasionally, if the grass was mowed next to Brentwood, we would go play on the park, and if we could. But it's access to fields, it's access to equipment, it's access to coaching. And Mike and I and another partner of ours, Don, have worked really hard to try to bring soccer in neighborhoods that it's not. Yes, it's true, these kids don't have access to clubs, and so they're not playing all summer. So that's why some of the schools, on the north side, these kids are just meeting each other, at the first practice or during tryouts. And so we feel like that's a disadvantage. And what we're trying to do is get out there in the community and have some high quality training. We're doing it every Saturday right now through the end of July. So this has an eye on kids who are trying to try out for their school team,
right?
Which
to
is
get
and
them
a lot
ready.
of times is the only access to soccer that they have, and so we're expanding that.
And so this is for kids who are going to be rising middle school or high school kids. And Mike, it's really designed to appeal to serve really any skill level.
Yeah, but most of the kids that we're seeing are, beginning level kids that have never really been exposed to high level soccer. We do have some kids coming through that are in the beginning stages of their careers that have some basic skills. But the real purpose, again, is just to give them a platform, to grow and to know that we're going to be there consistently. I think that's the big thing we've talked about, is just being there consistently in the future.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things we've talked about and want to implement. This is the beginning phase of what we're doing. It's right now we're running it out of the KIPP schools, and they've been fantastic supporters, and the facility is phenomenal. And it's growing every week. I think we got over 108 kids registered.
Excellent.
And it's grown every
Yeah.
week.
And we're
Tony
seeing
gives us
we're seeing
updates.
improvement too, which is another thing. Like we're like some of these kids are balling already, which is really satisfying for us, for the parents. It's really hot out there, and for the parents to make this part of their Saturday and to come out and to be with us and to really they're sacrificing a lot. We're loving it, and we're seeing some actual
Actual
balling.
improvement is
Yeah,
the
it's
yeah.
good.
I mean, and it is I mean, access is the key, and so this is a free program. How is it that kids are accessing you? I mean, how do they find you, and how are they able to register if they're
Tony's
interested?
done a good job of actually marketing the program. We reached out to several facilities early on. This is our third segment we're running. We ran one out of Warrington Park earlier. We've been at KIP for 2 sessions. Obviously, we're finding that this is a great facility with a lot of connections. So we sort of made it our hub right now. But he's got it out. Like I said,
Yeah.
we have an email chain. We put it out through the communities. It's been on radio. It's been on some television clips. So they've done a great
We're
job.
probably gonna get crushed now with sign-ups
Applicants
because of the
because of First Coast
prowess
Connect.
of the show.
Yeah, I
Yep.
wouldn't be at all surprised. You
So
can expand it if you need, though.
we do. And so it's sportingjax.com/foundation. And that's easy to register. Everything's free.
I mean, this is also, I would guess, part of the overall Sporting JAX vision, which is to create kind of a little bit more of a feeder system, right? To bring in the talent and right now for the women's pro and the men's.
That's right. Yeah, and the more soccer, the better, right? So no matter what, this is a great thing. Our commitment is, or our motto is, lift every voice. So we're really trying to make sure that kids that want to play have a chance to play. And one of the best things actually is through our school system. DCPS has, almost every school has a boys and a girls team, and that, by the way, this is all the boys and girls at our clinic. So both, but because of that good sort of infrastructure, and it's only a couple months that they actually play high school and middle school, but that gives a sort of continuation, a continuum of soccer that we're trying to fill the gap.
And so the Super League, the women's team, I just want to get back to. I mean, so their regular season kicks off, I think on this
23rd of August.
23rd.
Yeah.
Okay, and they're going to be playing DC Power. Their games are at Hodges Stadium.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that includes these international games.
Correct. Yeah,
And-
they're every game's at Hodges. The two international games are at 7 p.m. on August 2nd against Hibbs and August 10th, which is Sunday, against Wrexham.
Well, it is awesome that you're going to have those matches. I think it's going to be a ton of fun. So
Yeah.
congrats on
You
that.
will not be lonely. I mean, we are really stoked about the absorption of season tickets in general, but we think it's going to be packed, and it's going to be a nice big party.
All right. Well, Tony Allegretti, Mike Johnson, thanks so much. Congrats, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian.